6. The next morning, they all met at Peter's house and ate things, and Peter had some drinks again. Janet had a big book with her and she promised to lend it to Colin for a day. Here's Daddy's book I told you about. It's all about ships. Every single day, ships are there. I told you to bring it and show, but Daddy says I've got it back to give him 2-3 days time. So don't keep it too long. Thanks awfully, said Colin. He took the book. It was very pleased. He loved ships, and this was really a wonderful book. He knew he must be very careful with it indeed. Scamper trotted with him as usual. They came to the windy woods and made their way to the treehouse. Scamper at once put himself into the snittery box and sat there, serious and important. Woof, said Janet, and as he patted him. Yes, we know that you are on guard, he said. Good boy. They all climbed up, and Peter untied the rubber sheet from the cushions and spread out. Just as the girls had finished, they gave a startled cry. Look, the till of the biscuit is off, and most of the biscuit is gone. We felt quite a lot, but only a few are here, and some of the chocolates is left, and the most of it is gone. The lemonade bottle is empty. It is half full. They all looked up the cubby hole. Yes, the biscuits are certainly gone. Yes, the lemonade. Yes, yeah. The Secret Seven looked at one another, and Janet spoke suddenly. Do you think that the little squirrel? I bet she came and ate all the things. But what about the lemonade? Squirrels use paws and monkeys, said Janet. We have seen them holding nuts and paws on chewing them. I am sure that the squirrel was clever enough to take our clock off our work and chewing them. I am sure that the squirrel is clever enough. I expect that the half bottle of lemonade can be emptied by a squirrel. It wouldn't taste like better to the squirrel. I can't believe that the squirrel take all the biscuits and chocolates and left the lemonade bottle half emptied. I believe that the boy had came as he had told us that where we wouldn't be, he would come off and see there. So I do, said George, but the others didn't. They were sure that it is the squirrel. We have got plenty of food today. If the squirrel likes a few biscuits and a bit of chocolates, he can have. They had been sensible that morning and bought some dormice to play with. However, he could just bought cards because there was no wind. The sun was not to be seen and the clouds were low. When they began to rain at the platform, they dropped the pattered leaves on their platform to not get it showed. When it began to rain, the platform was truly covered with leaves. But Colin was worried. I better put the ship book in the cubby hole. Hadn't it, Janet? Your father might cross if it got wet. Would he be? Very careful. He's very careful about the books. Put it in the cubby hole and wouldn't it get a single drop. So the game was stopped and Colin tucked the book in the cubby hole away carefully behind the little food of pile and stopped. By dinner time the rain had stopped. "We better dash from here," said Peter, trying to peer through the branches and see if any rain was left in the blue sky. "Now, what about our things? Do it supposed to leave here safely, or some biscuits and chocolates have to be taken?" "Quite safe," worried, said Palm, and dragged everything down the tree and took home. "If the squirrel comes, or whoever the thief was, didn't take any cushions or mugs and things last night, right?" said Peter. "We just tie the cushions to the rubbish heap and so Scamper coming. Woof, woof, woof." Scamper suddenly heard the tree trunk leaping. That means he understood that everyone was coming and he was now to be carried to Peter's house. They all went down the tree because the rain had made some parts rather slippery. Scamper gave the most hilarious welcome. They all went to their homes and alas noticed Colin wasn't carrying the bookshelves. He had forgotten in the tree house, and he ran and tugged away the cubby hole halfway in the great tree.